Hello, hello, hello. I believe we are live. Can you guys hear me out there? How is everybody doing tonight? Let me know if you guys can hear me, if I'm loud, if I'm coming through loud and clear. Hello, hello. All right, good. I'm coming through loud and clear. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, cool. Well, we're live with my 10 years on YouTube celebration. And before I send out the invite links to some people, I wanted to just take a couple of minutes to um, solo just thank everybody for all of the support that you guys have showed my channel over the years, whether you're a new subscriber, an old subscriber, whether you've been with me a month or throughout the entirety of this odd this odd journey on YouTube. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys out there for all the support, and I definitely appreciate it. And without you guys, I mean, the channel wouldn't be wouldn't be what it is today, and the channel would not have had this kind of lifespan. It's odd because I didn't even realize that it was my 10-year anniversary on YouTube until I changed my cover image on my Facebook page, and it was a cover image that my buddy Josh made for me, kind of a spoof on the Town That Dreaded Sundown. And in it said, in 2009, this man uploaded his first video on YouTube. Today, he still lurks YouTube. And even then, even posting that, it didn't dawn on me until somebody in the comment section said, "Hey, how are you going to celebrate 10 years on YouTube?" And I went, it's been 10 years. Oh my God. So, um, yeah, 10 years on YouTube. Again, big thanks to all you guys out there who've supported the show, or supported my channel, I should say, for all these years. Again, whether you've been subscribed for a month or if you've been along for, the entire duration of this wild YouTube ride. Holding it down like Charlie Brown still. Pistol. Pistol, you've been around for a while. Clearly, you've been around for a while. But I just wanted to take a minute, just solo here by myself before I send out any invite links to people. We'll have some special guests coming in and out along the way. I'm planning on this stream going for 2, maybe 3 hours. So, but yeah, we'll have some special guests coming in and out along the way. Some familiar faces, I'm sure. So, but thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Pat's Bosox 81. What's up? Thank you, Joe Bob Tarhill. My buddy Orc will be hanging out with me here very soon, I'm sure. Lisa Allen, thank you. Anthony Anderson, thank you. Linda Pfeiffer, I know about the Ultimate Roy Burns figure. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. Charlie Varick, thank you. Barbecue Sauce, thank you. Cost Slasher, hello. Dave Barnes, what's up? Joe Bob Tarhill, I already said hello to you, Joe Bob. Dub Videos, what's up? But Nola Nerd, what's up, Nola Nerd? Celebrate with 10 pizzas. I actually had a pizza earlier tonight. In celebration of 10 years on YouTube. Me and Jeremy split a Papa John's pepperoni pizza. It was pretty good. Well, Orc, thank you very much for that $2. And I'm still a noob after 10 years. I'm still a noob, really. After 10 years, jeez. DJ Donnelly, thank you, sir. I did hear about that, Lola Nerd. We'll go into that here momentarily. Let me send out some invite links to everybody. Thank you, Robin Jennings. Michael Myers, thank you. But again, thanks for all the support, guys. I really appreciate it over the years. You guys are awesome. So, all right, I'm going to be sending out some invite links here to some folks. We'll have some special guests jumping in and out here along the show. and some familiar faces, and maybe some not so familiar faces. So we'll just see. But how are you guys doing tonight? Everybody doing all right out there? All right. So what I'm kind of hoping is to have some guests come on and hang out for a little while, and then because I think with Google Hangouts we can only have 8 people at a time. So I'll probably have some people come by and hang out for a little bit, and then say hello, ask some questions or whatnot, and then move on. But we'll see. All right. So while we're waiting for some people to hop on, see how you guys are doing tonight. Thank you, Dino Rabbit. Appreciate that. J-Man Chronicles, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Danuch, you're melting in the heat. I hear you. I hear you. It's been very hot here in Kentucky the past few days. Very, very hot. Manny Gatillo, what's up, Manny? Thank you. I appreciate that. Your favorite video of mine, Charlie, is the breakdown and ranking of the Friday the 13th movies. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Brian Miller, remember when I was a hippie? Sometimes I miss the long hair. Sometimes I miss the long hair. You've been a real anchor over the past 10 years. When I've had bad times, you're a great human being, sir. Well, thank you, Robin. I appreciate those very, very kind words. I appreciate that. The White Trash Jedi is here. How are you? Phil's Creepy Vids. What's up, Phil? Thank you. I appreciate that. My buddy AJ, J-Man Chronicles. What's up? Congrats to my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. Piz, you mean more to me than you might think. Congrats on your growth and successes. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that. Brian Patrowski, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Yes, I do intend to see Crawl. I'm looking forward to Crawl. I think Crawl has the potential to be a pretty darn good movie. I think it might be one of those, um, surprise sleeper type movies for this summer. So I'm hoping for the best. Heat index 108 in New Orleans. My God. That's hot. Been watching from the start. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, White Trash Jedi. Thank you, Great Cornholio. Geraldo Rivera. Yes, the Blob is coming out on Blu-ray finally. The Blob remake, the Chuck Russell remake, is coming out on Blu-ray from Scream Factory later this year. Very good news there. Very good news there. Thank you, Zombie Aiden. Appreciate that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. It's long overdue for a good quality Blu-ray release. So that's cool. Dylan Fouch, thanks. Only been subscribed for a few months, but watched most of your back catalog. Wow, man. That's a lot. Stone Gasman, thank you. Appreciate that. Will I see Annabelle 3? I don't know. I've actually heard a couple of people say that it's actually the best Annabelle movie, which I don't know if I saw the second one. Did I see the second Annabelle? Don't know if I have or not. Actually, now I'm wondering, was there even an Annabelle Part 2? I don't know. I can't the Conjuring universe is becoming, difficult to, keep track of. Thank you, Movie Mac, appreciate that. Oh, Sasha, I did see that, the Omen Complete box set coming from Screen Factory. That's awesome. Andy McDowell, thank you. Congratulations to yourself and Jeremy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Jeremy and I were just watching Jeopardy, and then he goes to bed right after Jeopardy, 8 o'clock sharp. He is in bed. So, and I got to tell you, he he shocks me with Jeopardy. He knows what he knows shocks me because I forget what the category was tonight, but it had something to do with jewels. And I mean, he was just, like he got like 4 or 5 right in a row. You know what I mean? And I was just like, what? But he's a smart kid. Well, I thought about having Jeremy come down for like a brief appearance, but he's so hardcore about his 8 p.m. bedtime that, just let him go to sleep. Let him go to bed. He would have come down and very quickly said hello and then ran away. I have not seen A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. It's on my list. I've got a pretty sizable list, but it is on the list. I've had several people recommend that to me. Any plans for the 4th of July? Probably just a little cookout with Jeremy and a few people, and maybe light off some fireworks or something. Just something simple, something small. Checked out 10 to Midnight because of my review and loved it. Cool. The bomb. Yeah. Yes, I did hear that news, Movie Mac. I did hear that news. Yeah, that was sucky news. Yeah, another victim of the Friday the 13th lawsuit. Now the licenses for the figures. Well, that's not just going to affect NECA. That's going to affect, Mezco. It's going to affect pretty much, everybody who makes these figures. So I will do that, Lisa. I will do that. Thanks for the Howling New Moon Rising review. Yes, the series is complete. I don't want to do the new Howling or the last Howling movie, whatever it was, because that movie just didn't feel like, that movie just doesn't feel like it's part of the Howling legacy that I grew up with. So, Roland 666 tomorrow is the start of the Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion Collection. Okay, interesting. They do those fairly often, don't they? Seems like they have one of those fairly often, but those Criterions can be pretty pricey. So, Max Wright passed away. Willie from Alf. Billy Drago passed away recently too. Billy Drago, character actor from tons and tons of movies. He was in Vamp. He was in The Untouchables. He was in just tons and tons of stuff. Passed away. And but yes, Beth Chapman, the dog's wife, passed away. Yeah, very sad. So Friday the 13th is what brought you to my channel in the first place, Stone. I think Friday the 13th is what brought quite a few people to my channel, but that's cool. That's cool. If you type in pizowell into the YouTube search box, one of the first things that pops up is pizowell Friday the 13th. So, yeah. Got the new Terror Thread Sleepaway Camp poster today, signed by Felisa Rose. Cool. Yeah, very cool. I did hear that, Great Cornholio, that they're rebooting the Scream TV show. Yes. I need to get around to, I'm going to do a Scream series review, all the Scream movies, because I was feeling nostalgic for the 90s horror, 90s slashers not long ago. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to need to get around to rewatching those movies. It's been a while. It's been so long since I've seen any of the Scream movies. Gosh, it's been years. And I only saw Scream 4 once. I saw it in the theater, and I don't have fond memories of that movie. Horrorhound 85, yeah, 10 years, man. I know. It's been a wild ride. Good shout on the Hitcher Blu-ray imports. Yeah, it's Resurrection Reviews, my buddy Steven. How's it going tonight? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Someone has joined me here. It is Bracke. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Great. Wonderful. How you doing, man? Happy 10 years.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm doing very, very well. Thanks for joining me.
Sure. I'm just shocked the FCC hasn't shut you down yet.
You know what? There's been some close calls.
Okay. All right, good.
There's been some close calls, but I've been able to avoid it,
Yeah. So am I the first one here?
You're the first one here. Got some more people coming, and so it should be a nice little party.
Yeah, very cool.
We've had several people in the chat already talk about oh goodness, we've got some more people pouring in. Is that Eric Freeman?
Well, I can't hear you, but there you go. Hi,
Eric. How's it going, man?
All right. Little microphone trouble here. Or excuse me, speaker trouble. Anyhow, thank you for having me. I got the shirt. 10 years.
I appreciate you even got the badge. Wow. Yeah. Nice.
No,
the shirt looks good on you, man. The shirt looks good on you. Well, let me introduce Peter. This is Eric Freeman, star of Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2.
Oh, great. It's great to virtually meet you. That's awesome.
Nice to see you. I've been watching you guys from for a long time.
Oh no.
Well, and Eric, this is Peter Bracke. He's the author of he's the author of Crystal Lake Memories, the expansive, everything you could possibly ever want to know about the Friday the 13th series.
All right. Wow.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
That's a good Christmas gift. Yeah.
But like what I was saying, we've had several people in the chat mention the news today that NECA has lost the license to do Jason figures because of the lawsuit. Did you hear about that, Peter?
No, I did not.
Yeah, that broke today.
Huh. Interesting. So what did they say? Did they just like the contract wasn't renewed? Is that what happened?
They just said that it's because of the lawsuit.
Ah, interesting.
So everything like the Roy Burns figure and the Freddy versus Jason figure, which have already been finished, those can be released. But everything is still in the works now has to be put on hold until the end of the lawsuit.
Interesting. Well, because what's interesting is there's been no like court order sent out to folks saying you can't do stuff. Like I don't get a letter saying you can't release your book anymore or you can't put out the movies anymore. So I was wondering if some of those folks are just afraid to do anything new. I'm wondering because there hasn't been any sort of legal declaration, a cease and desist, if you will, towards any folks. No. And I don't know what it is, but there's some stuff coming out next year that So clearly, if there was a lawsuit, it wouldn't be coming out. So, but we'll see. Yeah.
Well, let me see what the Friday the 13th the franchise article said. At a
Like,
large,
the book is still out and stuff. There hasn't been any issues,
yeah. This is what the article says. At a large fan event this past weekend, Randy Falk, creative director for NECA, mentioned the license has been suspended for the foreseeable future because of the rights battle.
Oh,
Yeah. So only in development product will be released.
interesting.
Yeah.
Whoever holds that license, whoever gave them that license, decided not to let them keep it. I don't know who they got the license from. It's interesting.
I don't know either, but yeah.
Maybe that's part because, like, for the book, like our stills license, we have a license all the stills from New Line and Paramount. It's in perpetuity, so there's no like cutoff date.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why we're fine because.
Oh, Peter, you'll get a kick out of this. My buddy Lorne sent me the Japanese VHD release of Friday the 13th Part 5. Now take a look at this freaking thing.
That's a better cover than what we got in the VHS.
Very much. This is what the disc. It's like a giant floppy disk.
Yeah, it's like they used to call them CEDs here. Have you ever seen those?
Oh,
you stick it in and it did something. I never could figure out what it did, but
but I mean it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I miss it. It's like having a big movie record. It's like I love the artwork and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know where he found that. I'm guessing it cost a pretty penny, but
don't look at your horse in the mouth, right?
Exactly. But Monty and Orc have joined us as well. What's up, Monty? What's up, Orc? How you guys doing tonight?
Piz, how you doing, my friend?
Doing very well. Doing very, very well. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to see you fellas. I haven't seen you fellas in, I don't know, it's been a while. I've been off the grid for a little while.
You have. I'm glad that you're back on the grid for this special occasion.
Yeah, 10 years, man. Like you said, I was one of the first viewers who saw your Friday 2009 review, and I've been hooked ever since.
Cool. That was 10 years ago, wasn't it?
That was
10 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel old.
Yeah, we are old.
Now, Monty, Eric Freeman is with us tonight from Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2. You were not on were you on the show with us when we did the Silent Night Deadly Night 2 live commentary? I don't believe you were.
No, I was not. How you doing, Mr. Freeman?
Hey, Monty. I've been watching you guys for a while. I mentioned that earlier. You're to me, it's like you're part of the group. Old hand,
Oh, thank you, my friend. I actually passed you at Horror Hound like 2 years ago, but I was like too shy to like come up to your table.
Well, good for you. But no, anytime. Look, if I'm sitting there, I'm probably sitting on my ass, and either I'm working, signing stuff, or nobody's coming around. So if that ever happens again, you got to come by.
Yeah, I'll come on by. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And Monty, I think you know Peter.
I have not met Peter.
No.
I have not met Peter, but I've seen. I have all the Friday the 13th classic reissue DVDs. So I've seen all your behind the scenes features.
Oh, cool.
Like for 1 through 8, and I think I listened to the commentary for the original Crystal Lake box set.
Yeah,
Crystal Lake to Manhattan for Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think Richard Brooker asked you. He was like, "How old were you when that movie came out?" I remember that.
Yeah, I used to look young. Now I look old, but back then I looked younger. So
Yeah. Well, it's nice to meet you, Peter.
Yeah, you too, man. So it's great. It's nice to see everyone coming out for Piz.
Yeah, we've had some love for Peter and Eric in the chat. Let me see. Somebody. The Bomb messaged and he said, "Yo, Eric, I sent you an email on Christmas and you wrote back. Thank you for that. It made my day."
Oh.
Very nice. Well, I'm lucky to have 5 fans, and I'm going to hold on to them. So it's the way it is.
Charlie Varick says the best reason to hang on to the first Friday the 13th DVD box set is Peter Bracke's Part 3 commentary track with cast.
Oh, thank you. That was so much fun. I don't know why that disappeared after that. I don't know why they've not put it on the other releases. It makes no sense. Also, we actually produced 3 trivia tracks for 1, 2, and 3 that Paramount never used that have been sitting around.
Oh.
Pop-up trivia, yeah. I spent all the time. I wrote it out and timed it all. They're all excited, and never came out. It's a mystery. So yeah,
that sucks.
Maybe someday. Maybe there's a hint. Maybe someday.
You never know. You never know. I do want to mention, for those of you who don't know, Peter has been doing quite a lot of work with Scream Factory lately. He produced all the extras on Valentine, and those were phenomenal extras. I recently just picked up the Urban Legends Blu-ray that he did the extras on, and this thing's loaded. 2 discs, like a feature length making of documentary. So
it's longer than the movie. It's like 2.5 hours. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to diving into this in the very near future.
Yeah, we just did The Entity, which just came out, which turned out pretty well. There's a good Barbara Hershey interview if you're into that movie. So
oh, fun. Cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I can't announce yet, but that we're doing that I think would be fun. People will find fun. If you guess, I won't tell you no, but I can't. But stuff.
Pat's Bosox 81 has a question for Mr. Freeman. He says, Mr. Freeman, what is your most memorable moment at a convention so far?
Oh God. Well, there's so many. I mean, look, Justin, everyone that's gone to these things, you see things you just can't believe. I mean, there was a lady, this last convention was in Texas, Frightmare, and she came by with a big wagon, a red wagon, with a handle, and she's pulling this wagon, and she had all these, I don't know if they were faking it or what, but they were all either they were midgets or they were her kids, but they were like a cartoon of midgets. And they were all had monster heads and this and that, but it was so bizarre. She was an attraction all her own, and she just kind of came by, and we were just our tongues were on the floor. It was like, but it's a bizarre. That one was Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi, and it was absolutely humongous. And we were just kind of the ancillary semi-talent on the side to this humongous event. But there was all these freaks, and so yeah, that was oh God. Anyhow, one of many hundreds, but it just popped up because it was most recent. But thank you.
Let's see here. My buddy Resurrection Review Steven says, on your 10th anniversary, today is your garbage day. And that's true. Today was my garbage day. So you're very correct. Today was my garbage day.
Is this actually the 10-year anniversary this very day, or
no, not the 10-year anniversary. I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but my buddy Josh created some artwork for me based on like a spoof of the Talent Dreaded Sundown, and that iconic poster art for Talent Dreaded Sundown with like me in the sky, and the tagline says, in 2009, this man uploaded his first video to YouTube. Today, he still lurks YouTube. So I changed my banner on my Facebook page to that image again for the first time in a while, and it didn't even the date didn't even dawn on me. And somebody in the comment section said, well, hey, what are you going to do for your 10-year anniversary? And I was like, what? 10? Oh my God, it has been 10 years. The anniversary was actually back in April, but I don't know, 10 years. It doesn't feel like 10 years, but I don't know.
Well, it has been. All right. How's it going, guys?
How's it going, man? What's up?
Going? I'm dreaming, I'm memeing. Yo, Eric, do they ever have a hard time finding like a vein when you're getting blood drawn? Do you give blood and they're like, oh my God. Is that like guns? Yo, I'm sick right now, but yo, check it out, man. Guns, bam. You like that? Yeah,
like
Big Mac
that.
all day.
Those are Big Mac Der Wiener Schnitzel guns.
Oh, come on.
Well, Eric, I've told you this before. You have inspired Orc to hit the gym and to cut back on his McGriddle intake from 10 McGriddles to 6 McGriddles a day.
I've been sick a lot lately, but I was going with 5 McGriddles. Now I'm going with 4. So thank you. Anyways, I have a roast / piece of majestic art that I would like to read off before it gets a little too crazy in here with all of Piz's amazing fans and co-creators. Okay. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I met a noob named Pizzo with less than 1K. We pwned on Modern Warfare 2 day and night against noobs who would make LGBT look uptight. He top fragged more than fatality, but what I couldn't understand was this was reality. He always has to show his man cave, but when B Jr. is around, all his Heineken are enslaved. I never thought he'd hit 30K. I'm so jealous, I hope his channel gets hacked anyway. All in all, he's a garbage tier creator. That being said, I hope he hits 100K 1 year later. So Piz, from everybody you know on the YouTube community, thanks.
Hold on. Orc, for you, I've got to use this. I think I got this napkin at McDonald's to dry the tears. Thank you for that, Orc. That was a touching. Thank you for that.
I've been waiting a while for that one, all right, buddy?
I appreciate that. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Orc. I appreciate that. Joe Carluzzo's joining us tonight. How's it going, Joe? Hope you're doing well. Arthur Day Arcos Jr. says, "Hey, Eric Freeman. Hello. How are you? I love Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2.
I told you I had a fan. I told you, Pat.
We're all here tonight. Pat's Bow Sox wants to know what are our plans for July 4th. You got any big plans for the 4th of July, Peter?
I'm going to Vegas.
Nice. Very cool.
I don't gamble too much, but it's fun to go.
Go see the Hoover Dam, man. Have you done that?
No, I haven't.
Ooh.
I should
Go over and take a look. Like, ooh.
Okay.
You want to rush? Oh my God, it's terrifying.
And that bust through.
Go over and take a look. Like, ooh. You want to rush? Oh my God.
And that bust through.
Perception.
We're getting some feedback here. Hold on. Okay, it was from Lauren. I'll unmute you here in a second, Lauren. I do want to ask you, Peter, how was your vacation? You went to
Ireland. Yeah.
Ireland. Yes, how was Ireland?
I do vacation a year. That was great. I'd never been there. We went outside the city, and there was a couple of areas where it looked just like American Wear from London, like the moors with the green rolling hills and other little towns. I was trying to find the slaughtered lamb, but no luck. That was cool. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was. It's just nice to get out and get in a different atmosphere and stuff. So it's always fun. So yeah, thank you for asking.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's very cool.
Yeah, next trip will be Australia. So excited for that next year.
That's cool. That's cool.
How was the weather? Hold on. How was the weather in Ireland? Because there's a lot to learn about this.
This is actually their summertime. So we probably got the best weather you're going to get. It's upper 60s. The sun will peak out for an hour or two, but it never gets like LA sunny where I'm at, But it was nice. I mean, it wasn't like winter there, which was probably pretty brutal. It rained like one day, but for them, they're in t-shirts and shorts, so because to them that's hot. So, but it was good. Yeah, so it's good weather.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah. Lauren has joined us tonight. Lauren, how's it going, man?
Apologies, I had both the phone and the computer running. That's so I created that feedback nightmare. So I'm a few minutes late, and Orc has already made you cry.
they were tears of joy, though. They were tears of joy.
Orc, we're gonna have to put that wall around Maine. Just how.
Oh shit! I was gonna curse. I just broke it. See, Lauren brought the best out of me. Well, I'm from New York, and that's better than New Jersey anyway. So I mean, maybe around New Jersey, maybe around there.
So you're talking in New York, really?
What?
So,
Hoboken.
Hoboken's Jersey. We own that.
Oh, okay.
Parking lot for New York, but we own it.
What you got any plans for the 4th of July, Lauren?
Sleep if possible. Work probably, because that's my life. So 10 years, Piz. I only found you maybe 3 years ago. that I know of. I might have watched something before that and just don't remember because I'm, brain dead. But about a year ago, you did the Friday 13th commentary fundraiser.
Yes.
And so Jason Parker actually had kind of let me know that it was happening, and I was in the comments. And that was the start of me really following the show. And the thing I think that makes your show so different from everything else out there is that you can really tell the fan love, and there's no ego attached to it. And I think that's the big difference, because there's a lot of horror commentary shows out there, but you don't get a sense that you're promoting yourself more than all the stuff you love. And I think that's been your success, and I think that that's what endures with what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Was there like an impetus that started you on this journey? Like, what prompted you to get on 10 years ago?
It started with, I think what introduced me to YouTube was the Dead Pit Radio show, which they've not been around for a few years, but it was through arrow. There was an Arrow in the Head article that cited Dead Pit Radio as their source. And so I went to their website and I saw these two guys and I saw that they were from Kentucky. And I was like, oh my God, there are other people in Kentucky who love horror? Because I thought I was the only one. You know what I mean? And then from there, I discovered their YouTube channel, and I discovered people like Barry, who was on the Sausage Factory for many years. People like Rajo Magnifico, bunch of other people. Some of them aren't even doing videos anymore. It seemed like a very small community at the time of people who just like talking about movies and talking about their DVD collections and all that. And I just decided to throw my 2 cents into the mix. And I had no idea that, YouTube, this was, 2009 YouTube, but it was still an enormous platform. And of course, it's 5 times as big as it was then. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it really started. I had no plans for a channel. I just said, I'm going to start talking about movies and DVDs and the things that I love. And 10 years later, here we are.
You're a conglomerate now. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Hey, there you go. Jay the Stingray's joined us. What's up, Stingray?
What's going on, man? Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I thought you might throw a ball cap on just for old time's sake.
Well, I don't have any around, but somebody mentioned earlier, they were like, I've been with, they said, I remember the hippie pizowell when I had long hair. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so you've been around for a while. You've been around for a while. But yeah, Stingray was one of those guys back in the day that was doing videos on YouTube too.
Yeah, man, I remember you were featured on the Dead Pit show a few times.
Yeah. I was on the show a few times. So when I started the channel, I was lucky enough to have some recognition from Dead Pit, and so that kind of got me started.
Piz, you grew up so fast. I remember when it looked like I think you had a bald head, completely shaved like me, and then you had a closet in like the background, and you used to do videos on a little desk.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow. At least he's from Kentucky and he doesn't live in a trailer. So this guy's awesome. And then I subscribed, but that was before you could before Google bought YouTube, and then everything. I know. Sorry, I don't mean to hijack your show, but I would love to know how many hours of YouTube videos I've watched and how many individual videos. And I know they have that data on servers, but they just won't expose it. That makes me annoyed. But whoa! Congratulations, Fizzo.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say how I did my setup in the beginning. I would literally stack up DVDs and put my little crappy camera on top of the DVDs and hope that I was in frame. And then I would talk into the camera with my filthy closet in the background that had socks and stuff hanging out of a drawer, and just, I didn't care. I thought I was literally talking to like 5 people. I had no idea. You know what I mean? So those videos, I go back and I look at some of those videos now and I'm just like, geez, God. But we all got to start somewhere. Let's see. Eric, have you got any plans for 4th of July?
No, I don't. I don't generally make plans because other than to try to get. I'm out in LA too, and I'm somewhat near the beach, so you're stuck. I mean, you got to either plan on being in and not going anywhere, or getting the hell out, literally. And there's only two ways to go on that. So, and Peter's nodding his head, and he understands completely. You're overwhelmed. They come in from all angles, and there's no parking, there's no nothing. There's people.
Stingray, anybody else got any plans for 4th of July?
Family reunion. Gonna go to a family reunion. And I think we're like bowling and going to the amusement park and
that sounds cool.
Whole thing, and just eat and probably talk trash. That's probably about it.
Cool.
Sounds like a blast.
That sounds fun to me.
I just realized it's like right on top of us, man. It snuck up on me this year.
It's Thursday. Man.
Gotta buy some fireworks.
Like, where did June go so fast?
I don't know. It's gone. It just went away.
I think the older you get, the faster it goes by. Right.
But that's true. My buddy Stone Gassman says, Mr. Freeman, since I watched Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1 for the first time last Christmas, he's planning on watching Part 2 this Christmas just because of you and because you showed up for tonight. So,
my advice: put one back on.
No. You got to watch Part 2. Let it wash over you. Let the intensity that is Eric Freeman wash over you. Then rewatch it again. Okay, back to back. Watch it, then rewatch it. Because the first time you watch it, your jaw is going to be on the floor the whole time at the intensity of this man.
No. No.
You're being too humble, Eric. You're being too humble. Come on.
Look, really. See. All right, maybe watch it once, but make sure you're loaded. No, thank you very much. What can I say? Long time ago.
It's good times, though. Good times.
Eric, was there like a time, like, you did the movie, I'm sure you went on to other things. Was there a time like years later when you realized, oh wow, like people actually remember and care about this movie? Or did you always know there was like a fan base?
Good question, but I was kind of late to finding out there was an audience for this. I really hadn't soaked into the internet, YouTube, and all. So I was just as much of a.
He started.
I was Rip Van Winkle, and all of a sudden, boom, here it was. So
cool.
And I did see Piz had done some unveiling, unwrapping of Garbage Day T-shirt. I think that's how I connected with him, and of course he. Yeah. And anyhow, so that's how we got together. But I did. It's funny. I look back at some of the Sausage Factory, not necessarily. I just to see what he had done in the first season, and Jay Stingray was there, and Orc, and but it was funny because his man cave, that is his man cave today. Trust me, it wasn't like that back in season 1. It was just a big empty room, and he had a couple of things on a shelf. But
so it was basically just his mom's basement, right, Eric? No BS. Got him.
But yeah, it's definitely grown over the years. It's grown over the years, that's for sure. Well, and actually, Peter, Eric's got a very interesting story of there was an entire legion of people trying to find Eric for many, many years. The movie just got more and more popular, and people wanted to know, who is this guy? And so there was this whole big movement called Finding Freeman.
Really?
That for years, a group of people just tried to find him. They look. There were all these theories that he was dead. He changed his name. He was now a youth pastor in the Midwest. He was here. He was there. One guy was calling every Eric Freeman that he could. Every Eric Freeman he would call them and go, "Are you the Eric Freeman?" And then just a few years ago, we found Freeman. So and here he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a little surprised just with the internet and stuff. It was harder to find people years ago, but now it's a little easier. But that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really interesting story. But yeah, hopefully there will be a movie entitled "Finding Freeman." So it's in the works. It's a documentary. It's in the works. Hopefully
Disney, man. Enough of this Finding Nemo BS.
Yeah.
All right. Freeman, you got bills to pay. Come on, let's be real. Real talk. Bills to pay. Everybody does.
Let's see. Danuch wants to know. He says, I've got a question. Maybe I'm in the minority that doesn't know. How did you come up with the name pizowell? That's actually a name that it's basically a variation of my last name. I had several nicknames in high school, and one of them was pizowell. So it just kind of, I probably should have changed it or went with something else, but it is what it is.
Is that like the Snoop Dogg thing where he puts the "is" and everything? Gotcha.
Well, you got to keep in mind, this was like 96, 97. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. See what's going on. See what else is going on out in the chat here tonight.
Yep. So are there any guests you've always wanted to have on the show, Piz?
Oh, yes. There've been many. Geez. I don't know if I should call anybody out specifically. I learned something, which I think is sage wisdom for anybody out there. If you want something, just ask for it. The worst thing that you can be told is no. So I literally, when I would try to get a guest for the show, like how I got Peter to be on our first Friday the 13th show, I just messaged him, said, "Hey, you want to do this?" And he said, "Sure." Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. There was an exchange of money. So I mean, so there's
you're right. The worst can happen is someone just isn't interested. But
really, I mean, there have been a lot of people who'll message back and go, no, I've got a scheduling something, or I can't do it this time or whatever. I have had some people who are like, yeah, we'll do it. And then like the day before, sorry, I'm not going to be there. Or, the people who just don't ever message back. But let's see. I don't want to call anybody out by name, but
I was wondering if you get like a dream guest you haven't asked or someone.
Oh gosh. Well, oh man. John Carpenter.
Eli Roth.
Oh.
Eli Roth, of course. Yes, the master of horror himself.
Why have Carpenter when you could just have the original master of horror, Eli Roth? Come on, let's be real here.
There you go. But yeah, Carpenter, I think would be awesome, because he's just like, he has like no filter. He doesn't. He'll just tell you what he feels. He just doesn't care. And I appreciate that. But yeah, that would be cool. My buddy Josh is in the chat tonight. He says, I remember the first time I gave you a shout out in one of my videos, I pronounced your channel name pizowell. Thankfully, one of your subscribers was quick to correct me. Well, that's how a lot of people
pronounce it as well.
Yeah, it's fine though. That's fine. It's cool. But Josh is a guy, he's been around on YouTube for a long, long time. He was one of those channels that I ran into in the very beginning, and had a great YouTube channel, and now he's a very, very talented artist. But thanks, Josh. Appreciate that. Adrian King would be great. Pat's Bow Socks. I actually tried to get her to be on the first Friday the 13th, the Crystal Lake fundraiser. But she was like, look, I'm not computer savvy. I don't know how to use a computer. She was like, I love what you're doing. I love Peter Bracke. I'll do whatever I can to help spread the word, but I can't handle technology.
That is totally true. She was trouble with that.
So I was like, okay, cool. Cool. 10 years of pizzolence. There you go. Thank you. The obsoletist, my friend formerly known as Retro Cac. We do go way back. And you also remember long hair Pizzel, Josh, yes. Sometimes I'd thought about growing it back out not long ago, and I let it get kind of shaggy, and then I was like, no, I can't handle it. I
was jealous, man. Very nice stuff.
Those locks were pretty luscious. They were pretty luscious.
Yeah, I could see with like Kevin Bacon fighting part 1 hair, kind of a feathery.
It was kind of like that a little bit. It was a little feathery, feathery. So yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Piz, your first Blu-ray collection video was epic. Thank you. I do intend on doing a new Man Cave tour video very, very soon as well. So, yeah. Jay Guziak wants to know, is anyone reading anything good now? That's an interesting question. Anybody reading any good books now?
I just finished a book on the making of Planet of the Apes, the original. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
This came out like a couple weeks ago. So.
I read Green Eggs and Ham. That was pretty intense.
Good.
Sound it out, dude. M-I-M, Green Eggs and Ham.
There you go.
I was reading a book called Toxic Fame. Basically about like very movie stars and how they don't like to be recognized and how they get stalked and all this kind of stuff. It's a really interesting read. It was actually a little bit depressing. Because I always wanted to be an actor, and then it's just kind of like, oh, is this what I have to look forward to? Like going to the bathroom and like somebody staring over my shoulder asking me for an autograph. I was just like, okay.
No, they're in the bathroom, Monty. They're like, can I hold that for you? And you're like, whoa, no. Your pants are on your ankles. You run into the stall. You're like, oh god.
Well, or that's when I turn around and say, sure, why not? That's what friends are for, right?
Well, it must be weird. I mean, like Eric being recognized. Like I can't. One time I went to this concert, and then I went to the bathroom after the opening band, and this guy in the back came in the bathroom. He started looking at me like the mothership from Close Encounters landed. He mistook me for the lead singer of the opening band, and for a second I'm like, oh, this must be what it's like to really be famous. When like Eric, and you're at a convention and someone comes up and like looks at you like you mean so much to them and you've never met them. That must be like really weird, to have that.
When I went to the Horror Hound in Columbus, I remember I was in Chris Sarandon's line, and the line is going like a certain way. I'm like third in line. And like this couple like walked in front of the line. They saw Chris Sarandon and they straight up cut in front of all of us, just like blatantly. Like they were just like, oh my God. And just like cut right in. Chris Sarandon turned and looked at us and I just was like, it's okay. It's no big deal. But they just like didn't even acknowledge the fact that we were standing there. They were just mesmerized by this man. I was like, okay.
Well,
I love those people, man.
That is Jerry Dandridge, though. That's Jerry Dandridge.
That's
Some people always think they have a fast pass. It's like, bro, we're at the bank, we're at the theme park, we're at the fair. No, you don't have a fast pass. Like, I'm nice, I'm like Monty. I let him, pass through. But sometimes I'll be like, yo, my legs are swelling up. I need a McGriddle. Let's get real.
I don't let him pass through. I don't.
I've got a couple of funny Chris Sarandon stories. I was talking to it was the woman at his table who was collecting the money for him, and she was like, oh, this guy walked by a little while ago, and like Chris Sarandon thought that the guy had just taken a picture of him and ran off. And so Chris Sarandon was like, go get him, go chase him down and take his camera. He was telling this woman to go chase down this guy and take his camera away from him because he thought that he'd walked by and taken a picture of him.
What?
And the woman was like, okay. And so she said she just got up and went and stood out in the hallway for a few minutes and came back and was like, he got away. So,
she should have told him to go get him.
yeah, you go get him, dude. You know,
Well, isn't it like, I mean, it's a public event. Isn't it legal to take a picture of someone?
well, it depends. It depends. I've been chastised by many a security or an event staff member at a convention for shooting footage or taking pictures in an area where you're not supposed to. Like, for instance, certain celebrities, if they're of a certain echelon, if you're even holding your cell phone, they're looking at you like, are you taking a picture? Are you, you know, I mean, they like, you know, they're hardcore about it. So I don't know. They want you to pay for those photo ops and not just have a regular picture. They're pretty, some of them can be pretty hardcore.
Have you guys seen fights break out at conventions? Because I saw a clip on YouTube where Tony Todd was getting into it with some guy.
Oh, I can believe that.
Wow.
And like Tony Todd looked like he was like slouched, like he was out the game. That's what the clip looked like. And I was just wondering, did they duke it out? And have you guys seen that?
I wouldn't want to mess with Tony Todd. He's like 6'7". He's a big guy.
Yeah, his hand is like the size of my head.
He's an older guy, man. I met him a couple of years ago. He's really intimidating. I didn't say much. I was just like, please sign. Thank you. Here is money. Take my money.
I met him a few years ago. He was really nice. He was really cool.
One person I want to fuck with is Andrew Bernarski, who played Leatherface in the remake.
Oh,
He's on that bath salts too.
I was wondering what was going on with that. So yeah.
That's from the program, the movie, The Program.
I've never heard anybody say a good thing about him.
He trashed Gunnar Hansen quite a bit.
And
So
he trashed Gunnar Hansen.
I did an interview with him once. He wasn't too bad, but I think he's got a lot worse since then. Fortunately.
Yeah, jeez. Lisa Allen. All right, Lisa Allen, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Lisa says, congratulations on 10 years, and please tell Eric he has 2 fans. So you got another fan. Eric's gone, but you got another fan, Eric. Well, actually, and speaking of books, Peter is working on a new book. How's the new book coming along, Peter?
It's the Silent Night, Deadly Night collection now. That's good. Yeah, working hard. I will say, if you've seen some of the recent Scream Factory Blu-rays, like Valentine Urban Legend, that will give you a hint at what it's about. So about halfway done about over 100 interviews, and the hard part now is it's hard to edit stuff, and you have to like take stuff away. You can't put everything in there. When I did Crystal Lake Memories, it was the same thing. It was like, oh my god, I gotta get rid of this story, and you get really heartbroken because you get attached to everything, and so you gotta edit stuff down. So hopefully people will buy it. I have no idea. I really don't anymore. Time goes by, like you start worrying all the fans all going to disappear. But I don't know.
Yeah, very cool. Definitely looking forward to that. Movie Max says, Piz, I remember you unboxing my unboxing video for the Scream Factory Halloween 2 and 3 Blu-rays. Yeah, that was quite a while ago. Yeah. That was a while ago. Congratulations on 10 years and 10 more. Wish you all the best. Thank you, Cole is gay. Appreciate that.
Sorry, who wished you well? What was
that was Cole is gay.
Okay, well, thank you, Cole is gay.
He's been a big follower of mine for a while.
He's been a big guy all around. Thank you, Cole is gay, for that nice comment about Pizzo.
Appreciate that. Charlie Varick likes your backdrop, Monty.
Oh, thank you. Picked up a Seagal and
yeah, she's Cyborg there.
Yeah, Van Damme. Yeah, it was either that or Bloodsport, but I had to go with Cyborg because I love Fender. It's like my favorite character.
Very nice.
What's the one on the far left? I can't quite tell what it is.
That is actually, don't get mad, guys, but it's actually Superman 3 with Christopher Reeve and Richard Pryor. I love Superman 3. Sue me, even as an adult. It's a controversial choice, I know.
That robot thing at the end scared me as a kid.
Oh man, it scared me to death. Man.
Yes.
Chris Reeve doesn't get enough credit for his role in how he played evil Superman in that movie.
Absolutely.
He's pretty creepy in that.
Yeah.
Baby Herman says, shout out to Peter Bracke and Lorne smoking a stogie in your honor. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I don't know what that means.
He's just he's just smoking a stogie in your honor. You know.
I haven't done anything.
Well, your presence is enough, Lorne. Well, maybe he heard me talking about this, that you sent me this earlier, and so he's smoking that stogie because of your generosity.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is that a Japanese laser disc?
that's a Japanese VHD.
Oh wow!
The VHD was a failed format entirely. It looks a lot like CED, but it is not. So you can't just throw it in a CD player. There in Japan, it did well for a while, but then Laserdisc just killed it outright. But it's become like a format that's really a curiosity over here because it never had an American counterpart. It's one of the few formats that never did. I asked Piz on an episode about like a year ago if he had the Part 5, and he said no. So I made it a point to reach out to all my old tape trading friends back when, you couldn't just buy all the movies we loved everywhere. And eventually I tracked one down. And then FedEx decided to send it around the country 3 times. I'm pretty sure it ended up orbiting the planet before it actually arrived. And I told him like 2 months ago he would have it, and it took just an unbelievable amount of time.
Well, it got here, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's see, where are we here? My buddy Josh says, think you'll review the 4K restoration of Legend of Boggy Creek when it makes its way to Blu-ray DVD this year. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've been following, I forget her name, Charles Pierce's daughter on Facebook, and she gives a lot of updates on that restoration. So I'm looking
I need to talk less, but if you want to hear an epic commentary and thoughts of Legend of Boggy Creek, Joe Bob he did a marathon, one of his marathons, and he did that movie, and he has so many tidbits about it. He's like, this is how you make a great movie, and he's like got one leg up on the other on his knee, and then he's like got a beer. He's like, you don't need a budget, just wander around in the woods. And this guy was a hick, and he's missing all of his teeth, and this is a great movie right here. We'll be right back. Got some mail. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely looking forward to that. The images that she's posted of the 4K restoration, it looks they're doing a fantastic job with that. So
We're going to bed, Dad.
yeah, it should be cool. My buddy Pat's Bosox 81 says, Piz, I'm glad you gave me advice on what to expect for Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. Thank you. Well, you're very welcome. Glad you had a good time at Halloween Horror Nights. Let's see. Do I plan on attending any future Halloween Horror Nights? I don't know. Maybe. I've not been in a few years, so I might. Oh goodness. Eric, have you got any new convention appearances coming up in the future that you'd like to announce?
Not in the near future. Something going on in Canada, Ontario, London, Ontario, Canada, October. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Eric Freeman invades Canada.
Yes.
Awesome. You're going to be there with Robert Brian Wilson from Part 1, right?
Yeah. He's good people. You guys, if you've met him, you love him. Just a nice guy.
Yeah, I've met him. Really nice guy. I'd love to have him on the show. As a matter of fact, that would be great to have him on the show talking about the first movie.
That'd be an excellent idea.
Jay stole my fire. Mr. Freeman, if someone comes up to you, I don't know if you're rocking an Android or an iPhone, and they go, "It's garbage day," can you just record that? And they bring out garbage can, Canadian version.
I usually just go. I don't. That's the one thing I will not do, and I almost get upset when they ask me to do that because some people are
no. Like if a fan approaches you and he goes, "Oh, don't you know it's garbage day?" and he has his own trash can. He's got a Rubbermaid. He's just sitting there.
Oh, then he should be beaten. I don't know. Come on, Ark. I have to.
This is what happens. All the McGriddles go to your brain, and the fries just clot your veins, and you get sick like me. It's over. Good game.
There's only one issue with that is some people are very insistent about saying the line garbage day, whether it's at a convention or anywhere. It's just something I can't do because I can't replicate the badness of it. It's just so awful. I can't do it. So I don't bother. I just I got to pass, guys. So enough of that.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like, when you were, I kind of warned you about that people would probably do that to you at conventions and demand that you say that, but you're not a dancing monkey, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Just, be respectful and be respectful of the man.
Yeah, I'm sure Peter's run into this too, but when people want him to recite something or something he wrote, and maybe it could have been 25 years ago, he's supposed to know everything he ever wrote and remember it just top of his head, but it doesn't work that way. Look, I'm happy that someone even wants to come up to me and is excited about it, but some people are very obsessed with that, so it's off-putting. It sometimes you really have to just go the other way. So
and most of the people that you've met, I'm sure they've been just fans, just cool people.
Yeah, no, overall, we talked about Canada, but the only time I was ever up there was during high school. We canoed up to up in the Boundary Waters canoe area up in Canada. I got to tell you, that's some pretty country. I mean, it was just pristine. Like we felt like we were the only people that were there. They didn't let boats and power boats on all these lakes that we were on back in the day. They just forbid it. And I'm sure now it's probably, from what I heard, they let loose the jet skis and the power boats and the water's probably polluted, but at that time, man, you could, this is how you drank the water. You just had a cup in your canoe and you dipped it in the water and drank it. And it's not like that anymore, but I didn't want to take away from your show, Piz, other than to say that Canadians are cool people. That's some good land up there. It's a good country.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. We've got two good Canadians that, are regulars on the Sausage Factory. They're just not here tonight, unfortunately. And as I mentioned in the beginning, Raiho Magnifico is one of the guys who inspired me to want to start making YouTube videos. So let's see. Pat's Bosock says, Mr. Freeman, please come to Rock and Shock HorrorCon in Worcester, Massachusetts. You need to message Rock and Shock and tell them you want Eric to come, and that's how you get it done. If enough people message him and say, hey, we want Eric there, then they may make it happen. So,
and I'll sign that shiznit.
Mm-hmm.
Come at me, Google. That wasn't a curse word.
There you go.
Yeah, correct.
Somebody had asked about future convention appearances for you, Eric, and then we mentioned that. Eric, I'm sorry, Peter, have you ever done any convention appearances?
No, I hosted a couple panels once, but they want stars, and not a bully writer. So well, I had fun. I did one was a Jason panel we did, which was fun. I've been as a guest to a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Halloween one they had here last year. So,
that's cool. Well, yeah, to hardcore Friday the 13th fans, you are a star.
Thank you. Sorry.
Peter, you should.
Honestly, I would never charge, so I would be happy to sign anything for free. I don't.
Peter, if you really want to get into that, just send a message over to the Scares for Cares convention. It's a charity convention. I'm sure we'll find you something to do.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool. Yeah. So I'd like to meet people and talk to people.
In Southern Virginia, so there's that. But they definitely find a home for you because it's for a good cause. So.
Oh, great, cool. I'll check it out. Thank you. Yeah, I'll look at that.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, my buddy Josh says something I was thinking about earlier. Which, if any of the Jasons prior to Kane Hodder, would you have liked to have seen play the part more than once? What do you think, Peter?
I was a big Richard Brooker fan. I think because 3 was the one I saw. I saw them in order, but I remember seeing 3 and 3 in opening weekends, and I was 11 years old, so it scared the shit out of me. I remember I had nightmares of him popping out of the closet, so I have sort of an attachment to Richard Brooker. But I think of the first 3, I think people would like to see what Warrington Gillette and Ted White as well, probably. I would think would probably be pretty popular choices.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that the true Jason, and that's Warrington Gillette.
I thought you said Roy.
No. But yeah, Richard Brooker, that's definitely a good choice. Who would you go with, Lauren?
Ted White, easily. Whoa.
Ted White? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Ted White, the ferocious. So I think that's funny because after Kane Hodder took the role, they kind of redefined the character as kind of the zombie walking, shuffling Jason. But to me, that's exactly the opposite of what Ted White did. And Ted White is just, the last chase in that film is just, to me, the highlight of the series. It's not my favorite film in the series, but it is the best sequence in the series.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Ted White Jason was very savage, and he was also very cunning. He seemed like he was thinking a little bit. I don't know. That's the impression I always got from the Ted White Jason.
Do you want a quick lawsuit update?
Sure, let's do it.
So on the 22nd is our most recent update, and basically about a month and a half ago, Horror Inc. had put a motion forward for attorney fees to be paid by the loser, and the court just rejected that. Now, what that means in practical terms is that this thing's going to take a lot longer, because when it was going to be very expensive for whoever lost, it put a lot of pressure on making sure that they had the documents to back up the claims from here on out, because it's all about whether Miller can be proved to be an employee or not. Is all this is coming down to right now. And the first ruling, the judge said that because he didn't say that because Miller set his own timetable, he didn't use a clock that supplied, and because he delivered the product on his own time, he couldn't be called an employee. Horror Inc. has documents that state that he was a member of the union, which the union rules actually use the word employee. So that's kind of where that was the crux of the first case. There was 2 motions that are still that were live until the 22nd. So one of them's out of the way, but this thing just went into 2020.
Yeah. Well, I'm also guessing that you heard the news today about how the lawsuit is now affecting the licensing for like NECA figures for Jason. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. So my understanding of it is that we're at the point whereas if Miller retains his rights, which right now he has the rights, everyone needs to understand that, but they're not actionable rights for a new product because he doesn't own everything he'd need necessarily to put something else into production. So basically what it comes down to is anything that could be drawn back to the first film that makes a profit up to this point, that money may end up having to go back to him for whatever was contracted originally through New Line. So right now, no one really wants to make money off of a new contract because you don't know who you may end up, as a producer of goods, end up paying for the licensing twice. You might get that money back through another lawsuit, but you want to go down that road because there's attorneys and everything else. So I think it's just anything new that has to be contracted could get more expensive than the profit margin at this point, hypothetically.
Wow. So yeah, so it sounds like we're going to be waiting for a while.
The only way this whole thing resolves and we get another Friday the 13th as we know it with all the elements involved are if Miller loses or if a party that believes this franchise is going to make more in its next film than it ever really has licenses from all the parties, which maybe, but it's a taller ladder to climb than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Wow.
Eventually I'll have a video up about the whole case.
That'll be interesting.
And no one will watch it because it's going to be boring.
I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. Let's see what's going on out in the chat. Purple Guy 202 says, "Can I get a shout out?" There you go, Purple Guy. There's your shout out. Captain Halloween says, "Congratulations on 10 years, Piz." Thank you. Charlie Varick says, "Ted White was the best." We got some love for Steve Dash in the chat. I don't, I think, Brooker did a great job. Ted White did a great job. CJ Graham did a great job. I think really, any of those guys, you know what I mean? Could have been Jason in another film and done a great job, really. Ted White says that he was asked to be Jason in like 5 and 6, and he turned him down. So,
after dealing with Corey Feldman, I can understand exactly why.
He did not have a good time dealing with Corey Feldman on that. Movie.
You hear me, Lauren? Okay, that's right. There, cheers. Fuck the Feldman. Oh no. Okay, you want to go? Let's go. All right, Piz. We interrupt this broadcast for a meme off. Hey.
Oh my god.
Hey, let's go. Oh, there. Oh, fucking there. So, oh god, I'm gonna get you flagged. Oh god, Jesus. Rebuke.
It's really only a 2-day drive to Maine. That's it.
Oh goodness gracious.
You'll float too, okay?
But
Whoa, okay. You have Pennywise. We gave birth to Jason. We win. Period.
There you go. New Jersey's
Exactly.
It's the birthplace.
Well, I went to high school where Matt and Trey Stone graduated from high school. So, what's more famous, Friday the 13th or South Park?
Which would win in a fight?
You could just say all Stephen King, right?
People are like,
that includes.
like, oh, what's mine, mate? Or they'll be like, what is mine? And I'm like, Stephen King. And they're like, oh, right, got a jolly good day. That was a good match, mate.
Frank Sinatra and baseball, Jersey.
Cigarettes in corner stores and Kevin Smith. Cheers.
We're gonna win this battle.
So let's see what's going on out in the chat tonight, guys. Let's see. I was going to ask Peter what his thoughts were on all of the Friday the 13th fan films. He's had some internet issues. He's hoping to jump back on here momentarily. Thoughts on 3 from Hell? Is anybody excited for Rob Zombie's 3 from Hell?
No.
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 No one anywhere.
What if it had been 2 years after Devil's Rejects? Would you have been excited?
Oh, I would have been in.
If it had been that film instead of Rob Zombie's Halloween, yes, I'd been excited. Yes.
I'll watch it, but didn't they all die at the end of Devil's Rejects?
That's what I thought. So unless this is a prequel of some sort, I don't. Unless they died and they're back, I don't know.
As long as Sherry Moon is in it, I'm okay.
She's in there.
Oh, well, yeah,
Okay.
That always
don't
gets
worry.
it up
She's
to
in there.
5 points.
Take Rob aside and be like, as a musician, it's all 2-chord rock and roll, but I like it. But you need to stop everything else. Don't even paint or draw anymore. Just make music, man. That's it.
There you go.
His music's been shit too, though. Like for a long time. I used to love White Zombie.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I think that there's still value in the new records. It's just not. You're never going to get what you got from Hellbilly Deluxe, the first one. You're not going to get that again now. But I don't. I listen. It's better than a lot of the current batch of screamo metal that's out there. So.
Sure, but that's not saying much though.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Eric, have you seen any good movies lately? Do you make it to the theater very often?
I don't, because I think, look, I wish I were more in tune to what you guys, in the horror field, but movies in general really suck. I wait it out, only because I have there's no desire to run out and spend 20 or 30, 40 bucks, whatever it is anymore. But I know I'm missing out on some good stuff. It's just that there's just so much shit. at one point I just said, I don't mean to be negative, but I think the best stuff is it's good that you guys go back, a decade or two, or et cetera, because there's some movies that are, are better back then anyhow. So that's where I come in.
If you had to pick, Eric, your favorite movie of all time, what would it be?
I have no idea. I was asked that before, and I'm just. You know what? Ask me in 5 minutes, and something may pop in my head. I know everyone here. You could ask Jay or Lauren, or you could even ask Oric between donuts and his Coke there, and he'll probably he'll have some movie that you love the most, and I just can't put my finger on it. It's the strangest thing. Go
Currently,
ahead.
we got a three-way tie:
Brad?
Mortal Kombat, Die Hard, and Tremors.
You going
Anyways,
with Brad?
Mr. Freeman,
Absolutely.
besides getting the gains, boom, the gains. Besides getting the gains, what do you do on a daily day? What's fun? Let's say you're not acting, you're not meeting up with the ladies.
I'm not.
You don't have to be humble, okay? Let's be real here, real talk. All right, do you go golfing? Tiger Woods?
No, I don't golf. No.
Wheel of Fortune? What's an average day?
Fuck, I'm always busting. Who was saying that? Was it Lauren? It's like, fuck, I'm always busting my ass. I'm always working. I just got done, yard with landscaping. It's my garbage day at Thursdays. It was, fuck,
They said it.
Oh.
They said it.
No, really. I'm just like everyone else. It's like, I'm not. I should go out and do more things. I have a friend out here that's just like all of you guys, and he's like, "Hey, Eric, why don't you go out and do this, that, and the other?" And he's always wanting me to go to these concerts, and I said, "Well, I've seen him. I've seen him. And he said, "No, go see him again." But it's I guess I could do more things, Piz. I'm God. It's just like. I never sit down. This is the first time I sat. I don't sit down. My ass hurts, by the way, from sitting down. I just I don't know what to tell you. Enough of that. I'll make something up, but the reality is, I think I'm just one boring fuck. So whatever.
Well, I mean, a lot of something a lot of people probably don't know about you is, I mean, you do a lot of work with guitars. You property owner. You do a lot of work there. I mean, you got a lot of things going on in your life, man.
Yeah, it's always something breaking.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You've got the you've got a screenplay that you're trying to get out there to some people. That would be a very good movie, I believe.
You are correct, Mr. Freeman. Things are always breaking like my chromosomes. Woohoo!
Yeah, no, you're right. Because look, it's I'm busy. I thought the other day, what the hell? I spend most of my time fixing shit that breaks, mostly around the house or whatever. And you know what it comes down to? I can either be under fluorescent lights working my balls off to make whatever amount of money I'd make, to pay some service guy to come fix something, or I could be fixing, it's like, where's my money going to go? Is it going to go to a guy installing $1,000 water heater, or am I going to do it? So I'm actually saving money fixing shit and making the money I do make, working, but I don't have to work harder. I kind of do all this stuff myself. Whatever breaks, I fix it. Car, fix it. House, fix it. Plumbing, fix it. So it's just good to know how to do this shit, because man, it's getting expensive.
Mm-hmm. One of my biggest regrets is my stepdad was like that. He was very handy. He could ride with you in your car and be like, this is off, that's off. You got a problem here, and could fix it. He was also very handy around the house. And I just, I was into sports and horror movies. I could care less about fixing a car. I could care less about fixing something around the house. And, now he's dead. And I can barely change a tire. So I mean, I have to hire somebody to do all that crap for me, and it's expensive. It's expensive.
Can I get a real talk?
That's
Absolutely.
a real talk.
Real talk. Okay. So you said you don't go to the movies because they suck and they're overpriced, which I completely agree with. Now you said you're a musician. We have a few musicians on the show, but what are some of your favorite bands that you like to listen to on Spotify or YouTube? I am.
Band, not necessarily bands, Orc, but rather I remember just guys I grew up with. I sometimes I liked watching Johnny Winter. You might remember Johnny Winter or his brother Edgar Winter, but I like looking at guitarists that from the 70s and 80s, and Robin Trower, just Clapton. I like looking at these. If it's a band, it's usually some power trio, some rock.
So you're a big Yardbirds fan, I take it.
Band. I'm really not a fan of today's music. I think it's just pussy.
Because you can't read their poker face? Is that why? Do you like Jimi Hendrix?
Clapton was better on his own. Yeah, I do. A lot of people say, "Hey, don't you like Jeff Beck?" And I think he's probably one of the best guitarists in the world, but I just don't like his style. I'm some sort of what's the word? I'm a throwback probably to another era of I'm an analog man, I guess,
You're an effing savage, bro. Straight up. That's what you are, Mr. Freeman.
No, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, enough of that. But I just like old rock and roll, and I like older movies, and I like my certain actors, and I couldn't tell you who's hot in the acting field for nothing. I just don't know. I mean, if he's hot today in 15 minutes.
It doesn't matter, Mr. Freeman. Carry on, my Freeman son. There'll be memes when you are done.
So in the chat, if anyone, when they woke up this morning, thought they were going to hear that, please post it.
We do have a guitar-related question in the chat. My buddy Steven wants to know what guitar Mr. Freeman enjoys the most. Do you mean like what brand guitar, or does he have what do you? I'm not sure what you mean, Steven. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a personal favorite guitar, Eric?
Yes, I do. It's not far away. Stratocaster. It's if I had to pick one, it's the 80s Japanese Strats. Back in the day, Fender was retooling and making a new factory here in the States, and they subcontracted out to Japan for their Strats between 84 and 87, somewhere in there. But I prefer the 80s Japanese Stratocasters. And some might say, hey, why don't you like Gibsons? What's wrong with Gibsons? And nothing, man. Very powerful. The humbucker, the pickups are powerful. They're good guitars. They're well made. They're really well made. They're machined perfectly, but they just, I don't know. There's a certain tone from a Strat with I can't explain it. I mean, I can't explain it, but it's terribly boring. So I just like I like what I like. Thanks for asking. It's a boring. This is your show, Piz, but
not anymore. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, Strats, man. Stratocasters. I don't care. Give me I got a bunch of Indonesian ones from 2000 that are $100 guitars, but they play like a son of a bitch. And it all depends.
Well, you've got several. There's several of us. I wouldn't call myself a musician. I'm more of a noodler. But Lauren plays the guitar. Lauren, do you have a favorite brand of guitar or a favorite model or anything to that effect?
The Jackson Monarch, right here. It has an incredibly fast neck. It's a thinner guitar. It's a heavier guitar, but it's balanced really well. It's just fun to play. I have a Squire over there. Speaking of a Strat body, and the thing about all Strat designs from Fender is they just stay in tune, man. You can pick one up after 2 months, and it doesn't really need much.
Yeah,
so I agree, Eric. Absolutely.
My buddy Stone Gassman has joined us. What's up, Stone? How you doing, man? Can you hear me? Apparently not.
I gotta say though, because
go ahead.
Trying to contact Stone right there was better than Jim Jarmusch's Dead Won't Die.
Oh no. Have you seen The Dead Don't Die?
I did. I put it up there with Monkey Bone and Battlefield Earth. It's one of the worst films ever made.
Oh my God, are you serious?
It's an absolute insult to everyone who ever sits down to watch it. I have no idea how they got Bill Murray and everyone else in it. It's frigging awful.
I was looking forward to checking that movie out. The problem is it's not playing anywhere near me. It's like an hour and a half away from me.
See, that's the thing. Like I can basically see anything in release. I'm very fortunate that way. But that's actually a negative in the case of this movie, because I was able to go, and I try and support everything that comes out in the genre. It is. I'm not kidding. It is a painful movie experience. You're better off just watching commercials on broadcast television and TiVoing past the show you're watching. It's awful.
Are you a fan of any Jim Jarmusch movies?
I like Dead Man. But I mean, this is the idea behind this movie. I don't care if I spoil it, because if anyone doesn't watch it because I spoiled it, I am saving them. The whole idea behind the movie is that American culture is trash and we like trash. So he made the worst film he could as an insult to the audience. That's the concept of the movie, for real.
What? That's ridiculous.
If you want to be insulted by a filmmaker, go watch that movie, because it's exactly what he did.
Wow. Jeez.
Wow.
That's.
Did that say that he did Ghost Dog? Did he do Ghost Dog?
I'm. Jeez.
Don't go near it. Don't even stream it when it comes available. Don't even stream it illegally.
I was like, man, he did Ghost Dog. Come on, it's got to be good.
Tell you what, I dare any of you to watch it and get back to me.
I do love me some Ghost Dog. I love Dead Man. Let's see what else.
I've liked some of his recent stuff.
I liked Broken Flowers.
I like McGriddles.
Well, yes. Who doesn't like McGriddles? For God's
McGriddles
sake?
are better for you than The Dead Don't Die.
Well, I know The Dead Don't Die will kill you quicker. I mean,
oh my God,
so,
I wanted to die. I didn't leave the theater though. I considered that, and that was practically martyrdom.
I want that to be on the DVD and the Blu-ray title. I wanted to die, Lord.
You think he intentionally made a really bad movie?
Not just a bad film. He intentionally made a film that insults its audience for its entire runtime.
Wow.
See, now I'm interested.
You won't be. Because it's not even like a poison love letter like Cabin in the Woods or anything like that. This just is like someone standing over you going, "You're a fucking moron," and saying that to you like for an hour and a half.
Man.
And because he chose the horror genre as his point of attack on society in general, it's a little bit even worse for us, because clearly he thinks we're at the bottom of the list. It's bad. I mean, I know everyone's been told it's bad, and you probably don't believe it the same way I did. And I thought, yeah, it'll be bad in a good way. It's not.
Well, Stone, are you here? Can you hear me?
I don't think he knows he's not.
Stone is having some technical difficulties. That's unfortunate. Let's see. There was a good question in the chat. Let me see if I can find it where it went. No, I can't find it. I've lost it. I'm sorry, guys. Well, does anybody have any questions about? Does anybody want any wisdom bestowed upon them from someone who's been on YouTube for 10 years? Does Anybody need any wisdom? I'm the old guy here. You know, I've been around for a long time.
Yeah, here's some wisdom. Why weren't you on in 15 years ago like I was? And you're like twice my age, bro. What's up?
Let's
Yeah.
see, 15 years ago.
Incoming excuses. Here we go.
Well, I'm sure I was probably, you know, probably juggling 2 or 3 chicks at the same time.
Woo!
All
All right, that's all I need to say.
Well, I mean that takes a lot of time out of your life.
And they're beautiful in the South. I'll give you that.
Well, you know, let me tell you, that's true. That's true.
Have you ever deleted a video?
Deleted a video.
Work has, but you know they were personal.
I don't think so. I don't think so. There might have been like a goof video that I did for something that like I deleted afterwards, but nothing like that really. I mean, pretty much everything is there. It's still there. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a lot of videos, man. A lot of videos, a lot of stuff.
Can I ask a tough one?
Absolutely.
So obviously you've been receiving a lot of movies before they come out on Blu-ray and premium formats. How do you not? How do you keep that from influencing you? Because I've seen you have given negative reviews to things that have been sent to you. It's, carefully worded, but it has to be tough. I mean, you don't exactly want that to stop.
Well, here's the thing with that. I think whether it's good or bad, it's great marketing because they know who my audience is, and you know they're spending shipping to get their movie.
Hello?
Yeah, Stone, can you hear me? Hello, Stone? No, we're having more technical issues with Stone. Okay. Back to the question at hand. No, I mean I have too much integrity to let that sway me either way. But like what I was trying to say is I don't think they necessarily care about a good or a bad review. The bigger companies probably don't care about a good or a bad review because they're getting it's cheaper for them to send me the Blu-ray to review it. It gets noticed that way, or they can spend a bunch of money to put an ad in Fangoria or something. You know what I mean? So it's marketing. But yeah, but that's a good question though. Very good.
What is your favorite video to make? Because the two I like the most is when you go to conventions and you film, when people do IRL stuff, and then when you do your convention recap. And then another good one was when you did your best convention advice, because it's not like I can't go to one, but I'd rather not go 5 hours to Boston, and in the South, they're like all over the place. They're like, oh, they're in West Virginia. They're in fucking Tallahassee, Florida. Woohoo! Horror Nights with Gators, Part 5.
Well, those are fun, of course. Shooting footage at a convention and talking about it because people love conventions, and there's a lot of people out there who, I think who really want to go to conventions, but they can't, because it's a very expensive thing to go to a convention, or maybe they just don't live near a convention. It's funny because, conventions are like a thing of the Midwest, like. They don't. I don't know. This is Convention Alley where I live, so there's so many. But yeah, I mean it's a big investment, and it can be very far away for some people to drive or fly, and so it's always fun to talk about conventions. I love to talk about conventions too. So those videos are fun to make. Fun videos to make is as far as reviews are concerned, is either a really good movie or a really bad movie. Those are always fun to review. A really good one or a really bad one. You know what I mean? So,
Hey!
I think I actually think the really bad ones are actually more fun to review, honestly. And no, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is not a bad movie. Not a bad movie at all. But yeah, the convention videos are always fun. Those are always fun.
I want to see more Black Friday videos.
Oh man, I think I'm too old for that. think I'm too old for that.
You need to suit up.
I have that one quote for quote. I was going to Black Friday and there was unwashed messes everywhere. and then you talk about a little kid. So you're like 6'4", right? You're like huge.
Yeah.
You're like Gunnar Hansen size. So you're 6'4", and then you're stuck in a crowd of people, and a little kid, like 3 kids, come crawling in between your legs, and you're like trying not to like step on anybody. Like,
yeah, that was. I think that was the year that I decided I need to just back away from Black Fridays. You know, that was a weird one. Yeah, I felt something between my legs. And I looked down, and there were little kids crawling between my legs to get to stuff. That was. I think that was the year I was like, okay, I've had enough of this. So,
how has there not been a horror movie that takes place on Black Friday? How has that not happened?
That's a good question.
That's where you question your girlfriend, though. She's like, you got to try it at least once. I'm a psycho, so I go. But you're like, yeah, honey, that's not good.
She's even. I think she's even burned out on it now. Like she's just like, you know.
You just need to go, like, you know, the guy in Final Fight when he, like, Hagar, when he spins around and throws his arms out, you're just like knocking everybody out.
What I need to do for real is to go with like what's those little cameras that you can put on your
GoPro?
A GoPro. I need to go with like a GoPro and just dive into the, you know, the humanity. That is what I should do. And Kentucky is now a concealed carry without a permit state. So I can have like, you know, just weapons all over me. You know what I mean?
Wow, concealed carry, no permit.
I'm jealous.
I just walk around strapped.
You actually woke Jay up. Holy shit, I've never seen that before. He's like, whoa.
Although that's probably a good reason why not to go to Black Friday again, because if I get into a tug of war over, I don't know, you know,
$2 Blu-ray of Casablanca,
a $2 Blu-ray, I could end up shot. You know what I mean? Honestly.
Well, this will be.
That would be interesting. GoPro, couple of guns. Can I survive Black Friday? That's my mission.
Target, Walmart, and that's basically it.
Oh,
McMuffins, guns, and movies.
I figured it out.
Black Friday Adventure.
I figured it out. The Purge, Black Friday.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
It writes itself.
It writes itself. Yeah. Wow. Holy crap.
Johnny, you're going to be home by 10, right? Yeah, I'm just going to go get that TV, Mom.
Just make sure you get the trademark symbol on the bottom of this video, because I want to get paid for that.
I'll make you a not a co-writer, but you wrote the story. Okay. Right. I get full screenplay credit. You get story by credit.
Just because I want some of Blum's money.
Let's see. Piz, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And how do you envision YouTube? Oh God, YouTube in 10 years.
Hopefully out of his mom's basement.
This isn't a basement. I'll have you know.
It's your command center, Kevin Smith.
Let's see. And I don't know if will YouTube be around in 10 years? I guess that's the real question. Will YouTube be around in 10 years?
I'm sure it will be. The competition always gets killed, doesn't it?
And as sensitive as people are, what will YouTube, if it's around in 10 years, what will it look like?
I am not worried about YouTube and Twitch at all. What I am worried about, it's 2019. We got the election, Summer Olympics, all that shit coming out in 2020. By 2030, Alexa, Siri, Google Home, all these things that people love because they can't hit 2 buttons on their phone to order a goddamn pizza, that people love and accept, that record absolutely everything. What's that going to be? And there's a reason why Jay and I, our favorite franchise is Terminator. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see. That's not going to be good.
In 10 years, it'll be Disney's Google.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Disney's YouTube.
And where do I don't know. I've never made too big of plans, to be honest. So I don't know. Maybe 10 years from now, I'll still be on here talking about movies. I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully, we won't still be talking about the Friday 13th lawsuit.
Hopefully not. Yes. Hopefully not.
Yeah, they're both going to be dead, and it's never going to get resolved.
Steak Sauce is in the chat. Evan, the movie guy, what's up? Baby Herman, what's my favorite horror movie sequel? Ooh. Geez, I'll have to think about that one for a second. Jason Lima's in the chat. What's up, man? Thank you. Appreciate the love. Now I've lost where I was. Steak Sauce says congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate that. Piz, what are your thoughts on your hockey mask collection video being your highest viewed video? I say cool. People love hockey masks apparently, because that video got a lot of views. Hey, it's cool. Let's see. Any chance for the Man Cave tour? I promise you guys there will be a new Man Cave tour video very, very soon.
That'd be like an hour-long video.
It'll be epic. I promise.
Yeah.
It'll be epic.
Will it be Epic Pro though?
It'll be Pro Gozu 360 no scope. It'll be pretty leaked.
Doritos Mountain Dew. Come on. I taught you better.
There you go.
Wendy's Baconator Frosty McNugget 9.
Wisdom Needed by my buddy Steven. How do you keep up with YouTube filming styles and keep yourself updated on the tech needed for your channel's upkeep? That's a pretty good question. I think I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know if I keep myself updated on the tech needed or not. I mean, I got a good quality camera. I got a good quality microphone, and I just went with it.
What software do you use?
To edit, I use it's Vegas Pro 14. Vegas Pro 14. Which I mean, in the there was a point a few years ago where I was really trying to improve the audio and video quality and the editing quality and all that jazz, and that took a little while to kind of get the hang of. But I
mean, it always sounded good to me, but I mean, you're sound great now.
No, but thanks. So yeah, I mean, it costs a little bit of money, but I figured, I guess at that point I was like, well, I've done this channel for so long, people seem to like it. Let's invest some money into it. So, good lighting, good camera, good microphone, cool stuff.
Oh, and by the way, if you want to see more epic content from Pizzo, you can go to Patreon and type in Pizzo, and then join the $1 a month club like a savage.
That's true. That's very, very true.
And I wouldn't usually say that, but what do you make, 3 videos a week at least? So I mean,
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Pretty good.
Plus, you get your private chats over on the Discord.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh yeah, you think these hangouts are dirty? Holy shit! That's all I'm gonna say.
We get real filthy over there. Trust me.
What do you do with McDonald's fries when no one's looking? Yeah.
Jerpian, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
Eric, I'm sorry your ass hurts. That sucks, man.
Thank you.
Oh yes, yeah, Eric.
Mark, you have advice about that, don't you?
Yeah, dude, all day. My ass hurts all the time.
How much time do you have?
How much? What do I have? I missed your meme.
Oh, I said, how much time do you have?
Ooh, yeah. There's not enough time.
Yeah, you could...
Wikipedia couldn't even store all my info. They call me Sally. TCM.
Let's see. Malek is in the chat tonight. My old buddy Malek is in the chat. How are you doing tonight, sir? Favorite Funko Pop? Oh, geez. I don't know. Gosh. Oh gosh, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I'll grab this one because this is my most recent one. This is kind of a rarity too. This is the San Diego Comic-Con unmasked Jason one. So this one's kind of rare.
That's really awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this was from Comic-Con 2015, by the way. There were only 1,008 pieces made. So I was lucky that I managed to find that one at a decent price.
They've really gotten out of hand with those pop vinyls.
Yeah, especially like the convention exclusive ones. Those go for ridiculous prices. See what else is going on out in the chat tonight. Stone Gasman. Yeah, too bad, man. It it's cool though. It's cool though. Not a problem. Yes, I do still sell paint and sell Jason Mass Movie Mac. I do indeed. Steak Sauce with the super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Who's my favorite Michael Myers actor? Dick Warlock. I love the demonic, Jason.
What?
Or demonic Michael, I'm sorry. He's very stiff, very creepy in that movie. I like the Dick Warlock Myers. So let's see. Gosh, we've been going for almost 3 hours tonight, guys. And I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with me and talking about this and that and the other. So really appreciate that, guys. We'll probably wrap this up here shortly. So if you guys have any questions for me or for anybody on the panel, just send those in the chat, and we'll kind of wind things down here on the 10-year celebration stream.
Because I just want to make something official here. Given recent turn of events, I understand that you will no longer be bashing Jason X. I just want to hear you say it.
Well, I mean, let's be real here. Let's be real. I don't.
You can't get back.
I wouldn't.
Do you need to use the restroom?
Bashing Jason X. Aside from Freddy versus Jason, I don't know if I can really bash, and be too harsh on a Friday the 13th movie or a Jason movie. Jason X is more toward the bottom of my list of Friday the 13th movies or Jason movies, but it has its moments going for it. You know what I mean? So inevitably, when I do the part 3 of the Crystal Lake fundraiser and Jason X is included, I will have you on that stream and we'll talk about Jason X. We'll break it down. Okay. The good, the bad. We'll have that conversation. How does that sound?
It sounds like I'm defending. Is what it
No. Well, it's just a conversation about Jason X.
Now it sounds like you're talking to a police negotiator. Why don't you use my name a few more times? Talk about my mom.
Oh, Lord.
I saw you and Jenny at the diner. How you doing?
European, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate that. Oracle, thank you. Appreciate that. We started at about 8.
How's your dog doing? Good? Good.
Who would I like to see as a guest for the Crystal Lake tours at Camp Noe Bosco? Well, at the last one, they had Adrian King. They had the woman who played Alice, and they had Ron Milkey, I think is his name. He played the cop, the motorcycle cop. I'm surprised they've not got like Tom Savini there for one of those. But he would be cool to kind of have, if he actually accompanied you on the tour and said, well, this is where we stuck the thing up through Kevin Bacon's throat, and here's where we killed what's her name with the axe and stuff. That would be kind of cool.
I'm not going to trash Jason X anymore, Lauren.
Thank you.
I'm not going to talk about it ever again.
Are you just refusing to talk about it, or have you had a change of heart?
Refusing to talk about it.
We still have work to do then.
It is a funny movie, though.
Get Amy Steele on the show. Is Amy Steele's on Facebook? I may have to reach out to her at some point and see if she would do it. Dana Kimmel would probably do it. Is she on Facebook? I don't know. I'll have to check that. I have to look into that for sure.
If you really want to make peace, Melissa Aid for the Jason X commentary.
We'll look into it.
Is she the one with like her nipples fall off or whatever?
No, but,
okay.
But she is from Canada, so that considering the show has a weird Canada fetish, it all makes sense.
What's the name of the actress from Friday?
Is there anything, Stingray, Orc? Is there anything that you guys are dying to ask me?
Oh, I'm not going through here.
I should have prepared, man. Do you have anything in the works you're excited about?
The big man cave tour video. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to start planning out the third Crystal Lake fundraiser. Hopefully, I'm going to get that done. Have that scheduled pretty soon. Hopefully, we'll have some nice special guests for that show, aside from Lauren, of course, for that stream. And I think the last time I talked to them at Camp Novi Bosco, we'd raised like over $5,000. I think close to $6,000 for the camp with those two fundraisers. So that's very cool.
So why are we getting a private tour?
What's that? I'm sorry.
So why aren't we getting a private tour?
Of the camp?
Yeah, I mean, I could sneak us in anyway. It's not that far.
Well, you better not, because they don't appreciate that.
Oh, I was 16 at one point. Yeah.
Let's just say Lauren has connections. Okay, that's.
Oh no, I don't.
Got to get Shelly back. Yeah, Shelly. Yeah.
Gabagool.
Yeah.
Give me the reggaeton.
Yeah, Larry Zerner would be cool. When Larry Zerner was on during the first one and he juggled for us live, that was just, that was just a great moment.
Where do you see yourself in 5 weeks?
Let's see, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Actually, in about 3 weeks, I'm going to be in Texas.
Are you going to the TCM locations?
You betcha.
Oh, shit.
Bastrop? You going to Bastrop? Seeing the gas station?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's going to be awesome, man.
Going to see the gas station, going to see the house. I'm going to find the cemetery. I'm going to stop in Texarkana just to check out Texarkana.
Oh, Lover's Lane. So you're doing the Town That Dreaded Sundown and TCM. What a savage trip. That's going to 3 weeks, you said? Have fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try and be out there for my birthday.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here's the Salt Lick in Driftwood, Texas. Best barbecue on the planet. Make it happen.
Okay. I'll have to do that. I'll have to look at that.
You start talking barbecue in Texas, you're going to get a lot of comments. They're serious.
Legendary.
But what's better, Kansas City or Texas?
Texas.
I'm planning on maybe swinging through Mississippi and maybe hanging out with Stingray. So
can do cool. Some deep sea bass fishing,
I never thought that would be the way that we would meet. I thought it'd be at a convention or something. Never thought you'd be coming down my way.
Exoticon, Florida.
I don't even want to know what that is. I can imagine, but I don't.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I can imagine. Jeez.
Where do you see yourself in 10 weeks?
In 10 weeks, I'll hopefully have uploaded an epic video on YouTube of all the Chainsaw Massacre locations in Texarkana, and maybe hanging out with Stingray a little bit. So that'll be cool.
I want you guys to go cow tipping, or else I'm unsubbing.
That's old school stuff, Orc. I mean,
Okay.
come on. We don't do that in the South anymore.
Okay.
Count.
KFC?
Someone was asking in the chat about the sausage factory. Is that September? Usually when that comes back?
Yeah. We'll return in September. Of course, Google Hangouts is going away, but we'll probably look into Skype and see how that works. And hopefully that will be an alternative. If not, we'll have to do it through
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah, exactly. Or we'll have to do it through Discord. And if we do it through Discord, it won't be a video like this. It'll be just voices. So, but we'll see what happens. We've
got the tech team on it.
We've got the IT crew on it. Yeah, the Sausage Factory IT department. So
they could stop having kids.
Oh, shots fired. Ooh. If only we had them when we needed them. Rambo wouldn't be doing a commentary of Predators, and he'd be celebrating Piz's 10-year anniversary. Love you, Rambo. Come back, dude. Get back to where you once belong. Get back.
Let's see. Pierce Nightshade says, "Congrats on surviving 10 years on YouTube." Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. He also wants to know if any of you guys have tried the new Mountain Dew flavors. What are there new Mountain Dew flavors?
Aren't there always?
Yeah, well, that's true. I try to drink water, mostly water, lots and lots of water.
What a pussy.
Well, it's good for you.
They don't make diet of all the fancy flavors, so I haven't.
Yeah. I had my first sugar soda today in a long time.
Honestly, I don't blame you, Piz, because I've never had a kidney stone. I hope to Jehovah or Umlagamaglaba, or whoever the hell is watching me, that I never, ever, ever get one, because DVD collector who used to be on the show, James.
Yeah.
He gets one once a month, and he'll just be at the theme park with like his daughter and his son, and he'll just go into some bathroom, yell at the top of his lungs. This is a dude who's a prison guard, who's 6'5", and who could literally destroy anybody, and he just goes, "Ah!" and he just like punches the stall every month, getting a kidney stone. F that, man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I can't imagine that either. That's just unbelievable.
I understand blah 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 is an unfriendly god, so I don't know. Just evoking his name might give you that kidney stone or the soda.
Ale bule andam dada. Child's play.
We've got
Child's play.
Give me the kidney, I beg of you.
We've got a question in the chat for Mr. Freeman. Do you enjoy outdoor sports of any kind, such as fishing?
Fishing. Oh, God, fishing. I grew up fishing. Love it. I haven't fished in years, but that was fun. It was fun. It's not just fishing. It's the whole experience of fishing. It's the boat, and it's the buddies, and getting loaded. And but yeah, no, it's cool. Fishing's cool. I used to do a lot of these outdoor sports. Skiing is it's like a rich man's sport, but skiing is fun, but it's so fleeting. It's like 5 minutes of fun and then 45 minutes of getting your ass to the top of the hill again.
Yeah.
I tried a lot of these things, but you know what the best time was growing up was when I lived back in the Midwest in Minnesota. Is the lakes would freeze over, and hopefully there wasn't a lot of snow or any snow, and the lake would freeze over completely. And we'd stud the tires of our I had a dirt bike I pulled out every winter for this with studded tires, like the Russians do it when they go around those ice tracks. And we just put the motorcycle on the ice, man, and you could ride wheelies and go across sheer ice just with these studded tires. It was just a gas. Wow. Just a gas. And a full boat at 60 miles an hour, you could just fly across the lake, Lake Minnetonka, and all these lakes are massive. So, but it was just you wouldn't think you'd have that kind of traction, but that kind of stuff in the middle of winter, going out in the ice where the cops can't go and drinking wine and playing around with your motorcycles. These are great times, and It's silly, but I enjoyed it as a 16-year-old kid.
That's not silly, man. Fuck video games. I'm trading in my consoles as we speak. Who wants one? No, I'm kidding. Dirt bikes on a lake going 60. That's epic.
No, it's good stuff. Or you could burn down the fish houses on the lake. You could bring some gas out there and light one on fire. No one would know.
Obviously, it's a joke, right?
No, that joke.
I think arson sounds fun.
Yeah, well, that was a few years
You're
ago.
funny, Freeman. You're funny.
No, good time. I told you I'm kind of throwback, but that's what we used to do for fun: get loaded, get drunk, go on the ice, and
Start fires.
start fires.
You got it.
I get it.
Yeah, when you live in a small town, you've got to find ways to entertain yourself.
Hey, and if you have 1,000 lakes, I mean, you're not going to run out anyway. I mean, you're in LA, you know what the shortage is like there. I mean, I lived in Colorado for 8 years, so yeah.
Sometimes it's a fish house, sometimes it's a 10-minute apartment. It all depends.
Yeah. yeah.
Thank you, Nola Nerd, for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. We've got people wanting to go fishing with Eric Freeman now. Oh, we've got somebody asking us to do an auction, to auction off a fishing trip with Eric Freeman.
Yeah.
How about a group fishing trip? That sounds even better with 2 guards.
Starting bid $10,000. Who's got it? Who's got it?
Where are Rambo Ross fans? You know I'm kidding, Rambo. I'm just kidding.
Fishing trip. Let's start at $10.
Oh, they can do better than that. Come on. They own every Scream Factory, which means they have a trust fund anyway. So there you go.
Hey, on a quick note, I heard that Blumhouse is doing, and Lauren might know this, Blumhouse is doing a redo of Black Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, it's right down their alley. I mean, it's basically 90% of it's one location. It can probably be brought in under $5 million. It's guaranteed to open it between 6 and 10. So it's safe waters. This is like right in their wheelhouse. Will it be good? Depends. I mean, I don't think Blumhouse ever make anything really awful, ever. They tend to make very competent small films, so it'll probably be fine.
Do you think that's because of Ryan Turek? He's a development guy over there. You probably know Ryan. Is it because he's just got a good insight for these, buy low, sell high kind of thing, or what is it attributed to? It really.
I met Ryan very briefly at the StokerCon in Vegas, 4 years ago, but I don't know him at all. I've only met him. I would say that he's a fan, like a legit fan. He's a fan of what we're a fan of. That's the interesting thing is if all the big slasher franchises could come under his purview, he would make it happen. Absolutely. But I mean, I think Blum is actually going to start widening out their appeal away from just horror. I think they wanted to do that a long time ago, but then the money was just in a different place. But I think Black Christmas makes a lot of sense because the audience that's going to be into it is going to be exactly the audience that they've cultivated. Mm. And I don't think it's a title that would be very hard to just do a slavish remake and make money off of.
Yeah.
Especially a good cast, which they'll get. What I will say about Blum, which is amazing, is that they can get actors that should be untouchable for their budgets to get involved because they know the projects will be successful. They offer very small back ends to actors, and the actors know they're going to make more in the end of the day rather than up front. So they have a great business model. They really do, and they have a great distribution deal in place. So my least favorite thing of everything they've done was the Halloween film. I mean, clearly, I think they should be making smaller films based on existing literary properties that have been ignored because I think they could bring it in.
Got a question from Pierce Nightshade for the whole panel. What film on Blu-ray or DVD or even Laserdisc have you spent the most money on? Rebuys or upgrades can count. What about you, Stingray?
This is just a disc?
Yeah, just I guess any movie that you've spent the most on.
Man, I spent quite a bit back when I had a little bit more dispensable income. back when DVDs would be like $50, $70. I got that the Scream Factory thing, the special edition of that. I think it was like $75, $80 a couple years ago, a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go with that off the top of my head.
Okay. What about you, Lauren?
Alien. I've owned Alien on VHS twice because there was briefly a widescreen of the original that came out on VHS. I had the Laserdisc box set, which included the 3-hour making of documentary, which was an awesome set at the time. I bought it on DVD. I bought it on Blu-ray, and I tried to resist, but I bought it on 4K. It's insane. I promised myself this is it. I don't care what format comes out. I'm not going any further. I've resisted buying the original Halloween on 4K simply because the Blu-ray looks good enough to me.
Mm-hmm.
But Alien is a DNA film. It's in my top 10. It's just hard for me to look away.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch it in the 4K yet?
Yes.
Okay. That's one I need to get.
It's worthwhile, especially at the price point they put it at.
Yeah.
If you don't have the high dynamic range color available on your television, I don't know if the value is really there. But if you do, it's pretty remarkable.
I just need to get the 4K player is all I lack at this point.
It looks really good in 4K. It looks really good in 4K.
I watched it the other night on the the anthology that they put out on Blu-ray, and that looks great to me. So I can only imagine what it looks like in a even better format.
So the thing about 4K is it's so stable. The image is just stable, and the colors remain true. If you look at even Blu-ray, where you have dynamic color or light motion, the colors don't stay consistent, and the image just gets softer and harder, if you know what I'm saying. On 4K, that does not happen. So it's not about how clear the image is, which is where a lot of people who say it's the same and the human eye can't tell the difference. It's about the stability of the picture on screen. And then the HDR with the color is just, it's a world of difference, depending on your television.
Mm.
But I'm trying not to upgrade as they announce these titles. I really am. If it's not in my top 10, I'm just not doing it.
What about The Shining? Are you gonna do The Shining on 4K?
I love The Shining, but I never watched The Shining.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that it's not a just drop of a dime, put it in the player. So probably not.
Did they release Zombie yet? Or Zombie 2? Or is it already come out?
On 4K?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I saw an announcement a little while ago.
See, that's good. That's problematic for me because I love Fulci, but I think we're getting to the point where the limitations of the film are going to start to come.
Well, are you talking about the one with the slit with the what you call it?
That was just a Blu-ray that was mastered in 4K, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I'm confusing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
So when you it's basically how much encoding, how much space you're giving to a film during the transfer. So obviously, the more data it is allowed to take, the more exact of a true image it is to the original film frame. 35 millimeter film still has more information on it than any digital format, although 8K may change that. But realistically, when they master at 4K, you're still not getting a 4K disc in the true sense. You're actually getting a 2K disc in most cases because they still balance it down. But it's still going to have more information in it than your 1080, or it's just the thing you have to be careful about is, and I keep saying this to everyone when they ask about 4K in particular, is that if you don't have the television to support it, it really doesn't matter because the player is going to figure out what your television can handle and give you that. So I really would say, with the cost of televisions, invest in a great television before you start building up your 4K library. If you want to even go there, for a lot of people, I don't know if it's even important.
So for that Zombie, it's been out for a while. Like Blue Underground did it. It says new 4K restoration, so you don't need a 4K player to play that.
Nope.
No.
So that's just a standard Blu-ray then.
Yep. you're going to get regular high definition resolution, but the master it came from was much more dense with the original film image. So hypothetically, it should be better. Depends what we're comparing it with, though. I thought the Scream Factory disc they put out a couple years back, probably 10 years back at this point, I don't know. The Blu-ray was actually about as crisp as I want that movie to look. I love Fulci. I really do. I would really love for House by the Cemetery to be revisited because they kind of screwed up that disc. But I don't know if I want them looking any better than they look on the Blu-ray format. There comes a point where they're going to lose a little bit of their drive-in appeal.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
That's what people say about Texas Chainsaw too.
Yeah,
it looks too polished. I don't think that personally.
No, there's a lot of film grain still there. I'm pretty okay with the release that I have. I haven't seen the German. The Germans have a true 4K Texas Chainsaw Massacre disc. I mean, you're spending $100 on the disc to get it imported, but I don't know if I want that film. I don't want to take the chance. I'm happy where I am. And there's just movies I'm like that. I still watch my DVD of The Exorcist because the image is, I think, more true to the theatrical experience. Whereas the Blu-ray keeps seeking between scenes that are extremely, extremely grainy and ones that are very clear. And it's showcasing too much of the fact that different stock was used at different times in the production. I would rather see something that's smoothed out. So I still watch The Exorcist, the original Exorcist, on DVD.
I'm trying to think about the movie that I've spent the most on over the years. Alien would definitely be up there. Halloween would definitely be up there. Like the first 5 Friday the 13th movies would definitely be up there. And I'm across, VHS, multiple DVDs, standalone Blu-rays, box sets, German media books, so it would probably be Friday the 13th Part 5, I guess. Yeah, would be the one I've spent the most on, to be honest. Yeah. But let's see. My buddy Mike Warner says, "Congrats, brother. Love you and Jeremy. Nothing but the best from Milwaukee, Wisconsin." Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Pierce Nightshade says, questioned Eric Freeman. I remember he said he liked the movie Two-Lane Blacktop. Are there any other 70s films he likes that are similar to it?
I remember we talked about Blue. It was because it was a Monty Hellman film. And I didn't necessarily like Two-Lane Blacktop, but back in the days, I reminded myself of how like Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original, and Two-Lane Blacktop movies from the 70s and 80s had a certain pace. They played out very much slower than movies today, obviously. And then as the 80s came in, the movies got a little faster and picked up in pace and energy. But looking back, it's funny. I've collected movies from way back. Charles Boyer was a French actor. He did one called Algiers. He's trapped in Algiers in a kind of a cool movie, and the beautiful actress comes along named Hedy Lamarr and lures him out to his death because the cops are after this guy. He's kind of like got warrants out for him, so he has to stay in this seedy part of the city. But she's so beautiful, he has to, have one more look at her, and then it's his undoing. But there's just movies I go, you're saying, what movies did you just buy? I bought Alien about a week ago at a thrift store. It was 2 for $5, and so I bought Alien Blu-ray, so I have that. But I didn't pay any money for it. The most money I ever spent on a Blu-ray was for my movie, because I didn't think they were going to send it to me from Shout Factory, so I bought it in anticipation of it coming out. So $20. That's my extent of
Eric Freeman double dips. You heard it here first. Insider story.
No, I didn't. They don't. You never know if they're going to send you anything or what they're going to do. Or so I said, well, I never had a Blu-ray player, but I would say, Lauren, you're right. My God, I bought one in particular for the release of this movie, and fuck, that's a picture and a half, just Blu-ray. And then now you guys are talking 4K. I'm so behind the times, but I'm very happy with the quality of Blu-rays. It's just great.
Oh goodness. Let's see what else is going on out here in the chat. Mr. Dark says, congratulations, brother. You're awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. He also says, huge hello to the great Mr. Freeman. Dylan Fouch, you said you spent the most on Friday the 13th Part 5 double dipping, but what movie have you spent the most on as an individual release? Probably can I count the Halloween box set, the Scream Factory box set? That was pretty pricey, as I recall. The most, other than that, it would have to be the Friday the 13th Part 5 Laserdisc that I bought. That was a little pricey.
I've got to know how many times you own the first TCM, because I have the VHS media. I have the Pioneer. That's the first time I ever bought it with all the commentaries, Toby Hooper and stuff. Pioneer edition, it just has the saw. I have the Steelbook, where I remember you did a video. There's so many of them in the $5 bin. Then I got the Bare Bones Blu-ray edition, and then I got the 40th anniversary. So I have that one way too many times. I thought it was like Die Hard or Evil Dead, but it's TCM actually is what I own the most.
Yeah, I've got the VHS. I've got at least 3 different DVDs. I've got several different Blu-rays. I actually had somebody send me, I believe it was the German Blu-ray release, or maybe I'll have to go look. It was a
over
review.
or under 10 times you own TCM.
Over.
That's insane, but in a very cool way.
Because I got the 40th anniversary one, and then I found the Black Maria edition cheap online, and I bought it too. So I mean, I've got a lot of Chainsaw Massacres.
Not too bad though, because that's your favorite movie of all time, if I recall correctly. So
got to represent.
Rep your city.
Steak Sauce says he's got 53 copies of Night of the Living Dead.
Are you kidding me? Oh well, it's public domain, so
well, I can understand some of those because that movie's lumped into a lot of those, like 43 drive-in movie collection.
Ask him how many conventions he goes to, how many he got DVD-R. That's what I want to know.
Good night, Steven. Have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, man. I can see how a lot of those Night of the Living Deads would add up because of it being public domain. Yeah. Jeez.
But I mean, now with the Criterion disc of it, we can all be done, I think.
Yes. The Criterion release of that is the ultimate release. Yes. No doubt about that.
Back when Elite put out the Laserdisc in the late 90s, or maybe it was early 2000s. I think it was in the late 90s, though. I thought that was the best that film was ever going to look because that was a revelation. But believe it or not, that Criterion disc somehow is twice the disc. It's amazing.
Great stuff.
When that February hit and Silence of the Lambs and Night of the Living Dead both hit on the same day, that was the easiest pre-order I ever made in my life. And they both look amazing.
Somebody mentioned in the chat earlier that Barnes & Noble's having their 50% off Criterion sale again very soon. So Dawn of the Dead and Martin on Criterion. I don't think so. Dawn of the Dead and Martin are both getting releases from Second Sight later this year, and they'll be all region releases, and they'll be 4K. So
in the UK,
it's a UK company, but the releases will be all region.
the Second Sight's done some great stuff.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the When a Stranger Calls releases.
They did the Scanners films like 10 years ago and did a great job with those.
Cool.
I've been a fan of theirs for a while.
We did talk about the Blob release, Jerpy, and we talked about that a little while ago. The Shout Factory release of the Blob that's coming out. That's really good. I'm looking forward to that for real.
David Pierre, the producer of the Scanners films, at one point was pushing a TV pilot, which was apparently shot for a Scanners television show. And at least some of that ended up being Scanners Cop. But I want that original pilot to get a release. Because I mean, the original Scanners is my favorite Cronenberg film. I want that desperately, but it never seems to going to ever happen.
Well, guys, why don't we go ahead and call it a night? We've gone for 3.5 hours to celebrate 10 years on YouTube, and I want to give a appreciation to everybody who hung out in the chat during the stream. Everybody who sent super chats, that was very generous of you guys. Really appreciate that. And again, thank you guys for 10 years of supporting my channel on YouTube, whether you've been subscribed for a month or you've been with me for this entire wild ride. I definitely appreciate it. And big thanks to everybody who joined me tonight. Peter Bracke, who dropped out a little while ago, had some internet issues. Monty, of course. Orc, who recently dropped out. Big thanks to Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Jada Stingray. And thank you, Eric, for hanging out. I know this was probably the longest you've sat in a long time. So, but I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bez. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, very cool.
And thank you for many years of great content, Biz.
I appreciate that. Thanks. I appreciate
Hey, say hi to Jeremy for us.
I definitely will. I'll tell him that Eric Freeman says hello, and he'll say Ricky,
brother to Billy,
brother of Billy. All right. Again, thanks everybody. I really appreciate it. Have a great night, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Peace.